And we're following a developing story tonight. The U.S. Supreme Court is hearing a case this week that could end affirmative action at colleges and universities. Justices considering whether schools can continue to take race into consideration as a factor in admissions.
The challengers argue the practice violates equal protection principles and promotes discrimination against certain ethnicities. So, what is the legality of all of this? 13 ABC's Lisa Guyton spoke with a legal expert about the case, and she joins us now live. Lisa.
Well, Rebecca Zietlow is a distinguished professor of constitutional law at the University of Toledo. She says there are clear signs that the justices will close the book on affirmative action in American higher education. It's been debated for decades. Colleges and universities using race as a factor in admission under the banner of affirmative action.
When universities look to diversify their student bodies, they are, at least at this point, are looking at race. They're also looking at economic status, other indicators that students have been historically disenfranchised or come from an underprivileged backgrounds.
The conservative Supreme Court justices have cast doubts on using race as a factor in college admissions in order to achieve the educational benefits of diversity on campus.
I want to make this clear. This is very limited affirmative action programs that exist right now. Race can only be considered as a factor among all other factors, and it can't be a decisive factor.
Zietlow expects the Supreme Court to bring affirmative action in higher education to an end.
I think the court is going to strike down, is going to rule that race can't be used at all in affirmative action programs and impose a racial blindness rule on the Equal Protection Clause, which would mean that the government can't ever take race into account for anything, including any programs that were intended to benefit racial minorities.
If that does happen, Zietlow says there will be admission changes at many schools.
What I would expect universities to do is to try to achieve some of the same goals of sort of equity and inclusion and diversity by giving preferences that are not racially based, for example, to people that come from economically underprivileged backgrounds.
A decision in the affirmative action cases is not expected before late spring. Reporting live, Lisa Guyton, 13 ABC Action News.